Good evening, Facebook. Your girls, Sutton and Lace, are back from the flavor room once again, because we love to talk about all the things and keep it real. And today we want to talk about the online market and how it seems to have become like this sea of sameness. I don't know if you've noticed. Let me know if you have. If you're watching this right now, drop comments, talk to us, ask questions. And if you're watching this on the replay, drop a hashtag replay. But yeah, let's jump into it.
Yeah, so I think it's actually been a sea of sameness. I wouldn't say that it has become that. Feels like it's been like that for a
For a
few
while.
years now. Um, but I think there has come a point where it is changing from the standpoint of people are being forced to change.
Yes.
And that force of change, I'm not even sure the people who are changing are fully aware of why they're changing. I think they just realize that what they've been doing is no longer working the way that it used to work. And they are also seeing other people, albeit few and far in between, stepping up and doing things differently. And to me, it seems to have caused a panic. It's a quiet panic.
Very quiet. Very, very quiet indeed. You can see it, but no one's talking about it.
Hmm. No one's talking about, well, behind closed doors they are. But it's a quiet panic, and there's people out there who have made their money and they've disappeared. Like the snake oil salesman comes to the village, sells his stuff, and he leaves. And that's what's happened. These people have packed up shop and they'll be back again when there's another trend or something else to kind of capitalize on. But for now, they're, quietly bowing out, going
Yes,
into insurance and essential oils and real estate and all these other things.
very quietly. And it's like, yeah, it's just really interesting to watch. And I haven't
It's interesting.
done so much until very recently, especially when you've been sharing stuff with me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. But it's so quiet unless you're really watching. Sometimes you don't even
Hmm.
notice. Disappear real quiet.
Yeah.
And then pop up somewhere else and tell you some story about, oh, this happened to me and that happened to me, and then this magical thing happened to me, and then I made like 8 figures doing this, and now I've decided to go and just do this instead because I wasn't
Hmm.
happy, whatever.
Hmm. Oh, yeah. And something else with the panic is a lot of collaborations. A lot of people are joining forces,
Mm.
and putting their skills and offers together to create something else.
Which is not a bad thing. We love collaboration, you know. We've got a
Hmm.
lot of it going on. But I think a lot of the things that I've seen recently have been very wishy-washy, as well as a lot of the same stuff. Just now we've got it from this person and that person at the same time.
Well, and here's where that collaboration meets the panic, in my opinion, because it's very tone deaf. As you said, you've noticed the wishy-washiness. I have noticed the tone deaf nature of these collaborations and offers. So it's like, are you really creating things that your people need? Or are you just creating stuff that you're like, oh, well, I'm good at this. This person is good at this. Let's make some money and, hodgepodge it together.
Mm.
That's the sense I get. I don't, the things that I've seen recently don't look as though they are tuned into the market.
Which is rapidly, rapidly shifting, and we're going to get to that. And in these wishy-washy, tone-deaf kind of collective thingies that we're seeing, I've seen that they're just like a bunch of buzzwords packed into a sales page. And when you actually
Oh
break it
yeah.
down, read it, you're like, oh my gosh, this sounds really good. But when you're like, okay, let me read this again, like what do I actually get? I get a sense of I don't even know what this means, what it translates to, or what I'm actually gonna get out of this on the other end. And when I do kind of have a clue about what I might be getting, I'm like, I don't need this. This is not useful to me.
Yeah, for me, I get a sense of overwhelm and underwhelm. Overwhelmed because I'm like, wow, okay, this is a lot of bonuses. This is a lot of videos. This is a lot of your, secret sauce programs from, 5 years ago that were never released to the public, and now you're releasing to the public. And plus, I get your hot seat thing and your other thing. And that's overwhelming, as I said. But then the other underwhelm comes from, what am I getting exactly? So $10,000 for some Zoom calls in a Facebook group. That just
And
doesn't do it for me.
library.
Say that.
Don't forget video library.
That doesn't do it for me.
Me neither.
Now it could be my mindset. Could be my mindset. Maybe I have some blocks that I need to remove. Maybe I'm just jealous. Could be that too. Maybe I'm just toxic and don't want other women to win. It could be all those things. But those things that I've been seeing have not been speaking to me. It still sounds kind of like the same old stuff that we've seen over and over again, just kind of tweaked and packaged in different ways. And
Hmm.
I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think that that is going to cut the mustard anymore, because in the market, the divide is greater, right? You have people that, I mean, in your marketing, you're talking about, you know, pleasure, and what else are they talking about?
A lot of sex, but not necessarily, as it is on the tin, but it's kind of implied. It's really weird, kind of.
Yeah, tying business into that and these other things into that. And you have people that are out there just trying to make ends meet, right? Either in their business or either in their job, and they're trying to transition, from their job into a business. You have those people. And then you have people that are, far ahead doing their thing. And are they identifying with that? That's what I'm saying. Like, this stuff I've seen, it's not fixing a clear problem. It's just fluff.
Yes. Yeah. And people have got real problems. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that as the world changes, not just the online business space. That's definitely changing, but the world is changing. How people work is changing. How people earn their money is changing. How people get jobs or not is changing. And there's some big stuff happening that people actually need help with. And they're not, I don't think, looking for, some wishy-washy, feel good kind of nonsense. And they also, if you're not doing that kind of stuff, they don't need 50 million programs and, some old swipe files and all the things that you can possibly think of to help them get started, because that is overwhelming as fuck and doesn't help anybody to actually move forward. They don't have time to go through 50 million programs to make a business. And you don't need to either.
Well, yeah. And the thing about that is, again, it's not the way things are going. You need to be able to help people solve a clear problem. And there are many of those to be solved. But when you come out with this fluff and these buzzwords and these things, that doesn't position you as someone who can solve a clear problem. So the more that someone is relying on that in their marketing, and the more the market continues to change, where people are searching for clear, simple solutions, not even to big problems, it can be a micro problem. How are you, as the business owner, filling that gap? I think that's the most important question to be asking right now. Should have been asking it before, but if you weren't, that's okay. You need to be asking it right now, because the things that people are saying, like what we've heard people say on Flavor Fit calls, what we have been observing, just around us, is very clear that a change is underway.
Yes. And you're either going to have to get with the program or collectively panic your way out into something else because what used to stick, them days are over. Them days are over. And that's not to scaremonger or, you're just being negative and you need to go fix your mindset or your blocks. No, this is reality. Just open your eyes, look around you, see what's going on, listen to what people are saying. And it becomes very clear that things are shifting massively and nothing ever stays the same anyway. Things always change, things are changing. So you either have to adapt or hot step out into something else.
Yeah, and we even had someone recently tell us that they were just happy that we listened. And if you think about that, that's huge. Everybody's out here talking. Everybody's out here running their mouth as we're running our mouths here. But most are not saying anything. They're talking and they're not listening. They're not listening to what is going on with people. They're not listening to what people actually want, not what they think people want. That's the problem. Stop trying to predict what you think that they want. Listen, observe. Then you won't have to have these panicky things that you come out with. Then your collaborations won't be, just kind of this money grab. Then you don't have to get sucked down the Black Friday rabbit hole if you don't want to.
Yes, darling. Well, I think that kind of wraps it up, really. It is what it is. Let us know what you think. Have you noticed the shift? Have you noticed that quiet panic? Or are you just aware that something is going on and you haven't quite put your finger on it yet? If you're pivoting and adapting and making those moves and bobbing and weaving, what are you doing? Let us know in the comments. We love to have a good old chin wag. So we're inviting you to do that. And if you have been thinking, of course, about the flavor room and you're like these two women who are always on here just running their mouths and flapping their gums and saying all this good stuff, and you want to talk to us more about what it looks like to become a member, then go ahead and book a call. It's all in the comments, and we look forward to speaking to you soon. I'm gonna have to tell Zoom about this.